Everyone. I wanted to do a quick video about some really important numbers that you want to understand when it comes to your marketing. Now, first of all, I know there's a lot of people talking about funnels these days, and people may not really understand what we're talking about when we're talking about funnels. I just explained this to a client the other day because a lot of people, and you hear me talking a lot about online marketing funnels. Well, funnel is a very general term in marketing for basically how we do our jobs, and they can entail a lot of things. So a funnel is just as it appears. Now, the reason we call it a funnel is because what this describes is a series of actions or basically stages of the customer life cycle. So up here outside the funnel, this is all the people who don't even know that you exist. People who aren't customers, people who, have never heard of you, all the people who would never be your customers because maybe they live too far away. Basically, this is like the whole world up here. And you could even narrow it down to, in terms of what's up here, that really has to do with your business. So if you're Coca-Cola, you really are considering up here like the whole world. If you're a local business, then you're really looking at your town. But basically, up here outside the funnel is all the people who don't know you, okay? And so this first stage, and this is pretty much with every funnel that you see, that this first stage is awareness. So this is pretty much always step one. I hope you can see this, but awareness. So this is getting people to the point. I hope that it's not flipped around so that you can read it. I hope it doesn't show backwards. Anyway, so what you're doing now is you're taking all these people up here who aren't in the funnel, who didn't know that you exist, and you're now roping them into this largest category, which is all the people who do know that you exist. So first step in anybody's funnel is creating awareness. Now you might do this multiple different ways. Maybe you're running TV commercials, maybe you're running Facebook ads, maybe you're sending out mailers, whatever the case may be. And that's where I say in marketing there's different ways to look at it, because some people consider the marketing funnel as this, including all marketing efforts. You hear me talk about online marketing funnels, which is strictly using online methods. Now, some people might think of an online marketing funnel as including your SEO and your Facebook ads and your Google AdWords and all that stuff. And I mean, our online marketing funnels only really go in a very specific way. So either way, as you can see, it's a very fluid sort of thing. And at the top is always awareness. This is always going to be your biggest group, all the people that know you exist. They aren't necessarily going to buy, because this group down here is the only group that's really going to buy from you. Okay? So right down there, that's where you make your money. But in between, this is where you're basically nurturing. Now, you can look at this many different ways. When I like to keep it simple, I basically go from awareness to nurture, which is all your, emails, ads, landing pages, etc. Okay? But really, there's some funnels here that instead of, here, I'll just do them out to the side here, but you have awareness, and then you have things like activation. I'm just going to abbreviate that. So you have activation, you have retention, right here. You might have revenue. Okay, so the reason that, and down here at the very bottom, this is one I saw not that long ago. So your money's actually right here. It's not even at the bottom. Referrals is at the very, very bottom of other funnels. So, I mean, you can literally make it however you want, whatever makes sense to you. But essentially that is how a funnel works and why it is a funnel, because every group, your awareness group is bigger, your activation group, which means the people who become your clients, is smaller. The amount of people that you retain is even smaller. The amount of people that you actually, where you're actually making your money, that's even smaller. Your referrals, the people who actually refer more clients to you, that's even smaller. So you can see why it's in a funnel form. You know, here it's who, you know, getting their attention. You have this big group up here. You know, this is where this is getting smaller and smaller and smaller and smaller. When you're talking to them, you're putting more ads out, you're doing all that, you're narrowing down that group until this is really the group that actually purchases from you, okay? So, in essence, this is your funnel. Now, real quick, the reason I really want to talk about this is because I actually want to talk about these two things right here. So, your activation and your attention, because, so, we always said that there's 3 ways to grow a business, okay? So you either bring in more clients, so you have more new clients, customers, whatever you want to call them, or you increase rate of purchase. So that means you're increasing the number of times that they purchase from you. So rather than maybe a one-time purchase, you're focused on maybe getting them to purchase from you 2 or 3 or 4, whatever. You know how it applies to your business. Of course, number 3, I shouldn't say of course, but is increasing size of purchase. Okay, so I don't even know if you can read that there, but this may all be backwards. I don't even know. But increasing your size of purchase. Okay, so that's the 3 main ways that you grow your business. Now, when you're thinking about these things, the increasing rate of purchase, increasing size of purchase, having more, this is your most expensive right here, is getting more new clients. So there are some industries where it's absolutely necessary that that's what you're doing, especially if you want to grow. It is the main thing that I focus on, but you'll hear a lot of other people talk about these other 2, increasing your rate of purchase and your size of purchase. And those kind of go more along with this retention, okay? So retention is a really, really big deal. You'll hear a lot of moguls talking about retention because it can be your biggest moneymaker, and that's something I wanted to explain to you really, really quick because I wanted to finish this in less than 10 minutes. So, I want to explain how important this is for you and your business, okay? So let's say you have you and your competitor, okay? And you guys are pretty much equal. Let's say for every new client, new customer, new patient, new whatever, you earn $1,000. And you usually keep them for about, we'll say 12 months. We'll keep it easy. So 12 months. And it's the same here. Same here. And you are willing to spend $1,000 to get this person to come to your business. So you're willing to market for $1,000 to get this. So you're literally just breaking even as long as people are coming through the door, right? Now, these are very round because this is going to make it easy for everybody to understand. This may seem like, who does that? But believe it or not, a lot of startups do. So it's not completely unrealistic, but I know most of you are not dealing with this. You're spending a much smaller amount. But just for the sake of this, we're going to make it really, really simple. So your break even, that's where you're at. You are making no money. You and these guys are the same, okay? So let's say that you double, or whoever, you or your competition, one of you is doing 2 times better at your activation. So activation, that means getting people to sign on for that 12 months with you. If you're doing 2 times better, that means for every $1,000 you're spending, you're getting 2 clientele, which means you're actually spending $500. So that means that as long as the other person is still spending $1,000 to get $1,000, and they're not doing anything else better, but you're activating twice as many people, you now have extra capital to work with in order to invest back into your business. So you now actually have $500 that you could use to get twice as many more people. You can invest in more resources. So that's one way to increase or be more competitive with your competitors. So the other one is retention. And let's say you are 2 times as good at retaining. So instead of 12 months, you're actually doing 24 months. So for 24 months, now you're getting $2,000. Okay, you still with me? Which means you now have $1,000 more capital to use to invest in more marketing, to invest in whatever, anything you need in order to grow your business. You now have more capital to be much more competitive than your competitors because you are retaining twice as much. And you can see the difference. Activating, so this is getting twice as many new people versus holding on to your people twice as long, with all other things considered equal. So you can see that there's a lot of bang for your buck here. There's a lot to be said for trying to retain your customers or your clients or your patients or whoever we're talking about, okay? So I just wanted you to understand this because real quick I'm going to go through, and maybe I should just cut this off and make this another video. In fact, I think I will. So that's all I'm going to talk about for today. So now you understand what a marketing funnel is. You understand the difference between activation and retention and why they're important to you. So in the next video, I am going to be talking about the 3 ways for you to compete in a really saturated market. So that means when you have, and this is local businesses, large businesses, it doesn't matter. When you are in a really thick competitive market, there are certain things that you must do in order to survive in the marketing competition there. And, you know, I work with a lot of other consultants who, you know, they like to not think about the competition, which I understand to a point. I actually just had this conversation the other day. I understand the mentality. You don't want to get focused on your competition. You don't want to start mimicking them. You don't want to start, you know, getting really sidetracked, paying attention to what they're doing. But you can't ignore them either. And I'm going to talk a little bit about that, and I'll do that in the next video. So I'm going to cut it off here. Talk to you later, guys.